Hey guys, here we go again on a Monday Live. We have a whole bunch of things. I had a great time this weekend. I want to let you know all about it and who we met with. I met with Brian
Callen.
Callen. He's a comedian, a good friend of mine. When I went to California a few times, he's a heavyweight out there. He does. He's a comedian, does all these shows, and he treated me real good. We became friends a couple of years ago, and he was doing the show here, and it was great. We had a great time. I took Anna and her son and her son's girlfriend, Amina. Amina's kids are a little too young for these kind of shows. But I wanted my son and my grandson to come, but my grandson was playing ball. My son was doing something else, so they couldn't go. But we had a great, great time. We hit the door. There was a long line, and a woman came to the door, and I said, we had a name to mention because he got me in, like, on special place or whatever. And the guy got a little grumpy. He says, there's a back of the line. I said, shut the fuck, mind your business, bro. And I had to grab my arm. I mean, some of these people, they stick their nose in. I wasn't jumping the line. I'm supposed to ask for a person. And I did ask the name. The girl went back in. The guy opened the door 5 minutes later, right in front of this dude, and says, hey, Sammy, come on in. And me and Anna went in. And then we made him get Anna's son and daughter, future stepdaughter, I guess, to allow in. And then we went to, the show started at 7, it ended at like 9:30, and we went into the dressing room. All the comedians who were there, he was the star. There was 2 other ones. And we talked with them and a few of their friends, and we were in the back room. And then we were gonna go to dinner with him. It was like 10 o'clock. A few of the places were shut already, but they left one of them open for him. They knew him. They heard of me, obviously, and we went and eaten there. Not too crowded, which was good, but we ate a little bit, and we had a great time. And then we all left. And here's where we go now. Anna's in her car going back. I'm in my car, and I get on the highway 51 South, and I'm winging it. It's late. It's 11, whatever it is, 10:30, whatever the hell it was.
Cold and rainy.
And I'm flying 75, 80 miles an hour, and boom, my fucking tire explodes, and I do one of those James Bond thing. My car skidding from side to side, almost in a spin.
Oh my God.
And I recalled that when I was young, so I got out of this fucking spin. But if there was cars on the highway, I would have crashed because I would have hit everything. It almost spun the car around. Thank God there was no cars. It was late. There's a car coming every, so many minutes, but I had no cars either side or back. So I spin off to the side, on the side of the road. I'm dead. What do? Of course, I called my Anna Banana, and I says, bro, where are you on the road? I'm going home. I left a few minutes before you. Yeah, could you make a fucking U-turn and come back? What happened? I says, my tire exploded, and I'm on the side of the road. I don't know what to do. And she did that. She came back. We got in touch with the tow truck people, and they said they would be there at 1 o'clock in the morning. So me and Anna sat in the car, bullshitting and listening to some music. Anna was conked out once or twice.
So tired.
I mean, I started the day 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and it was such a good day and busy day, I didn't even take a chance in nap. So here I am, 1 o'clock. They finally came. There were a guy who was polite. They picked the car up, and Anna took off. Anna don't live too far from where I am, so Anna drove me home, and she went home. I got home, I think it was a little bit after 2, so she had to get home same time or a few minutes more than me. And I had to let Lily out, thank God. I mean, this dog, I love her. She was alone, I don't know how many hours. She didn't do nothing. She went, as soon as I opened the door, she went flying out, did all her business and everything like that. And I came back in, had a quick cup of coffee. I know it's crazy, but it's fucking 2 o'clock in the morning, till after 2. I just was, my adrenaline was flying, so I wanted to just calm down. I sat down, calmed down, pet the dog, made a cup of coffee. I didn't even drink it all. Took a couple of sips, 2:30, and I'm going to bed. And that was my day. But it was a great day, a lot of fun, tension, but different kind of tension. It was fun. I survived the thing. I mean, literally, I almost felt like the old days, speeding away from the cops, the car flying from one end to the other one. You know, I never got a blowout at that speed. The fucking car just literally went to go. And if I would have went against it, I think I would have flipped. So I went with it. Fuck it, I'll just make a circle turn, at a high speed. But I think it was a good move. So I did that, and then I'm starting to slow down, obviously. And then I went the other way, and I came back, and then I went against it a little bit. Now I'm down to about 50 miles an hour, and I'm cool. I know I got this bitch under control. And I pull over to the side, and that's, so it was a little exciting. It was like one of them James Bond movies. I felt good. It was like when I was a kid running away from the cops, and we're going, fuck stopping, fuck the tires, everything.
It was cold and rainy, like all the freeways were slick.
Yes,
and wet.
there was a little drizzle, it was cold, it was everything. So it was crazy. You're talking about that. The night before we went, I'm sitting in the office, and I'm looking out, and there's a cop. I told you this. He's walking back and forth on the other side of where the other buildings are. And he's walking back and forth underneath where the cars are. It's drizzling, it's cold, it's damp. And I'm watching him walk back and forth. I said, where the fuck is this guy's police car? Or anything. No police car, no none. So I opened the door, and I let Lenny out, and when he got in the middle, I said, hey, yo, what are you doing? He says, I'm on duty. Over here? Why? He says, it was the tire place next to us. Remember they did that, they stole a truck or something from them?
Yeah.
The trailer? Yeah, the trailer. So I don't know how he got stationed here. So I said, listen, it's a shitty job you got today, right? You don't like it? No, of course not. I said, listen, you want water? You want a cup of coffee or something like that? It's fucking miserable out. And if you got to go to the bathroom, I'm here in the office. You can knock on the door, come in and use the thing. Oh, thanks a lot. Why would you do that? I said, why wouldn't I? I mean, because you're a cop? It's one human being to another. I know if I was a cop and I was running that job, which you're doing now, I wouldn't be too happy about it. It's cold, it's miserable, and whatever. When the Mexicans clean up, I always, especially when it's super hot, I give them water, I give them something. Yeah. You're just being a little humane, that's all. So he says, all right, thanks a lot. He said, but I got water, I got a cooler in the back. Yeah, it's all right. So that happened the other night, and this is happening. So it was a hell of a weekend.
You partied all weekend, Sammy.
I partied all weekend. I went to different meetings, different places. So more or less partied all weekend. And Anna had an event with one of her family members, retired, and it was his 50th birthday, and he retired. Retired or retarded? What was he?
He's a retired Scottsdale police officer.
Oh, all right. So he's a retired Scottsdale police officer who was semi-retarded and retired. But I had a ball over there. They had bands. There was 100 people there. Yeah. Incredible. I was signing all kinds of, taking selfies with a lot of people. I rubbed faces with an Asian woman who wanted to take a selfie, and we got a little chummy. I don't know. But so I had a blast the whole weekend, hanging out and doing a lot of things. And now we're going to get ready to start. This week is going to be a big week, pushing on a whole bunch of stuff. Hollywood. Hollywood now that we're getting more and more into that scripted show that I told you about. Again, I can't go through the details. They keep yelling at me, shut up. But I keep working with them, things they're asking me. So they're working. We're working. It'll come out. You'll hear about it when they want, and then I'll be able to talk a little bit more about it. Everything is going good. Now, aside from Brian, that we had a great time, he had some friends come down who own a gym out here. Great guys. Bro, the guy went to shake hands with me. I mean, he had fucking arms like a gorilla. So he says, we own a gym. Yeah, I looked at his arm. I said, no shit. I mean, you can't just be born with that, right? So I let Amina, I'm going to let Amina say their name and their address and who they are. Go ahead, Amina.
His name is Brandon, and he owns Strict Vision Athletics. And just quick shout out to him. He was great. They were great guys. They want to, get together and talk some more about,
I'm
business.
not sure if you heard that because I can't hear her. Did you talk loud enough?
I'm in the microphone, Sammy.
Oh,
they can hear me.
All right. I could hardly hear her.
Okay, are you ready to get down to last week's questions?
Yes, let's get ready. Let's do that for a while and see what's going on.
Perfect. Okay, let me start out with the shout-outs. So we got a few shout-outs for Albie, Pizza Dave, Haywood gets a shout-out. He said, kick up to the boss, buy Lily some treats. David Huerta, all love from here in Chicago. Love hearing your stories from your past. God bless and Happy New Year. Zizi asked to say happy birthday to his brother Jesse and kick up to the boss, Sammy.
Thank you. Happy birthday, Jesse.
And then let's jump into the questions. So we have a question from Tarek. Salute, Sammy. Hope you're well. I wanted to ask you about your discipline and how you never got caught on tape. It's such a rare skill in life. Much love.
I hate to bust your bubble. I did get caught on tape many, many times. Especially in my office. When I did the interview with Diane Sawyer, she talked with the agents. There was 9,000 hours of tape. The only difference is I got caught on tape. I never got caught talking about anything illegitimate or stuff like that. You only heard me talking about women, guy talk, or sports, or something that was going on. Anything that was serious, I always got off my ass, walked, went into the schoolyard near us. There was an elementary school, put my hand over my face, and we talked very privately, almost literally, in each other's ears if it was something dangerous. So the difference is I never got caught on any tape that was used against me, my crew, or anybody else for that matter. My tapes weren't used because they were useless. In tallies, there was a tape, a bug. The only thing is I had this voice machine that had the voice of 1,000 voices. So when you put it on, there's like 1,000 voices talking. All you hear is that's what you hear. And now we're sitting down, 15, 18, 20, 25 of us. We're all eating, we're all laughing, we're all talking. You'll hear things clanging, the dishes, and then you couldn't hear the private conversations. The bug can't tell the difference who's talking and what's being a recording, if a television is going, so it picks up everything. So my tapes were useless for them. And I did get caught in that apartment where John Gotti got caught once, and we were talking about nothing, and as soon as he started talking about something a little serious, I said, John, let's take a walk. I was always conscious of bugs, and that's part of why I never got caught on tape. But I did get caught, but not talking about anything or anybody in a fashion that they got hurt. That I was very, very careful about. But I always knew there was bugs. You're going to get caught on bugs, but watch what you say. And if you're going to say something that you don't want them to hear, then assume where you're talking, whether it's your car, your apartment, your bedroom, that it could be bugged. So go in your backyard or go somewhere where you've never been, where they wouldn't think to put a bug. Now, your normal place is where creatures of habit. Your normal place where you go normally and talk, they see that, they're going to bug that area. Or sooner or later, you're going to make a mistake and talk. So that's my answer to that question.
That would seem very unsettling to live
Well,
every day
it's
like
just that way. It's just that way. It was unsettling. I mean, I've had sex with my wife. And, at times, I'm not trying to be stupid.
Yeah.
But at times, when we did have sex, it did run through my mind, I wonder if this fucking room is bugged. And it made me angry, because I'm with my wife. What kind of decency? But, they don't have decency, first of all, when they really get this upset with you and they come after you. And
were they pretty small and like really indiscreet places, or?
Oh yeah, I mean, listen, they're pros at this, and they got technology that'll blow your mind. So you'll never even know. You could be sitting on the goddamn thing. It could be a little thing in a flower pot. Oh, you wouldn't even know the difference. Who pays attention to a flower pot? Even that's silk plants in there. That's perfect for them. They go in the middle of the silk plants, put it in. You wouldn't know. It looked like a weed. You wouldn't know the difference.
Right.
You're not looking for that. And who looks at their silk plants, carefully all the time, goes through it? I don't know. I didn't, even though I was careful. But I just assumed for the worst, that it was bugged.
Okay.
So.
Okay, we have Big Chief. Can you explain in more detail about how Willie Boy Johnson was with Tato before you?
He was. He was older than me, and he was with Tato. He was a tough guy. And I don't know how he got there, what his thing was, but I know he was with people even before Tato. And he did work. He was a tough guy. He was with Tato for a while, and I don't know, they transferred him away from Tato before I got there. So I don't know why or anything like that. And I just knew he was there. Then I heard from Tato, he was originally with somebody else, maybe even another family, I don't know. He did work with other families and everything, and they transferred him. He was tough with his hands, he was tough with a gun. And Tato had him, Tato liked him, and then for whatever reason, he was transferred somewhere else. You gotta remember that back when you going that far back, there was problems. They killed the Mad Hatter,
Albert Anastasia.
Anastasia, and there was different factions. He may have been involved in those different factions, and he was transferred over when there was all that stuff. So I don't know his whole history.
Okay. We have DVE 8356. Who had the worst hair pieces in the Gambinos? Bellotti? Anyone else?
Well, Bellotti had a bad hair piece. He probably wishes now that it was bulletproof, but there's a Nicky Cowboy had a hair piece. There's quite a few people who had hair pieces. Some of them just a little patch where you balled up on top. Some of them had almost a full one. It's not strange to the Mafia. Hollywood has that too. There's a lot of guys. Bruce Willis, I think it was, if I remember right, had a wig for a very long time, full wig. I never knew that, and it doesn't matter. I mean, the guys, even women get wigs and hair pieces and stuff like that. I don't think it's very important. If they look better and they feel better about it, I mean, I'm bald, so at times I thought about getting a hair piece myself, but I'm bald all the way around, so it would have to be a whole hair piece. I think it'd look a little strange. And when I did think about it, I was out here in Arizona, and it's hot. They put this net on your head. They glue it on your head, and then then they put the hair that's attached to that net. And I thought, it's fucking 105 degrees. This thing, it's like worse than wearing a hat, because it's glued. I'm gonna be sweating my ass off. So I decided against it. But I don't know. If I got one that had a little air conditioning in it, I mean, maybe I would try it. I don't know. I came close to trying it just recently, and it didn't work out. So.
Okay, we have Axe Wife. Back in the day, did the mob shake down Studio 54 and the movie Saturday Night Fever?
I don't know. I never heard of that. Studio 54, I went there one time not to go in. I had a friend of mine I grew up, his name was Johnny Galli, he was a doctor. He had went there, and they didn't want him in. He had said something. They gave him a hard time. And I went down there, and I got the people there, and I don't know if he was the owner, I don't know who the fuck he was. I abused him a little bit. You know, there's a way to, why couldn't he go in? And you had to be a total freak. I didn't know that in the beginning. I found out later. They even refused some actors and actresses that they weren't freaky enough. I mean, it was a freak show in there. There was gay, there was straight, there was black, there was white, there was everything. But it was a freak show. I heard that there was guys getting laid on a couch while everybody was dancing. They didn't even go like in another room or nothing. They were just on the couch right in front of everybody. That's how freaky this place was. And they were very strict about who came in. So I heard about it, never went there. Personally, was closed, and I went to go see who was in charge, and I was just angry about how they treated a guy that I knew and grew up with. He became a doctor. He did a bunch of favors for me. He was a dentist. Matter of fact, my son had a problem with his teeth when he was a kid, and I was broke at that time, and I went to him, and he did the surgery, did everything, didn't even charge me. So when he was, denied entry, but he didn't care, but they were very abusive with him. So that made me go down. And I just talked to them. And then they told me, I told them, bro, what the fuck were you going to that place anyway? You became a freakster when you got old? And he started laughing. He says, I was always a freakster, bro. I said, it's true. All right, I get it.
Okay. Moving on, Ryan Brown said, Sammy, can I have some advice? My younger cousin is currently on probation for stealing cars. He's always been a good kid. I'm in Massachusetts, and he's in New York. Also, did you know Louis Ferranti?
Louis Ferranti. Ferranti?
Mm-hmm.
Give me a little more information on him. The name is definitely, I remember that name, Louis Ferranti. I think he was a big dude, like a football player type of guy and all that bullshit. And I think we had beef with him years ago. But refresh my recollection, or where he stayed, or where he came from. If he went to the Utrecht High School or stuff like that. If it's that guy, yes, I knew.
He was a Heisman from Queens. Hijackings.
He was a hijacker from Queens?
Family.
Gambino.
No, then maybe I don't know him. As far as your cousin who's in trouble, it's your cousin, right? Same question?
Yes.
Yeah, as far as your cousin who's in trouble, we're all good kids. Get on him if that's what he's doing, and try to straighten out his life now, at that stage. My mom always thought I was a good kid too, and I think I was. But when you're getting in trouble, you got to jump on it. You got to, stop giving the excuse he's a good kid. We're all good kids, and we all go south a little bit, and now's the time to jump in a little bit and explain to him school or working or jobs or a trade is going to be much more important, and explain to him in a way that, listen, go listen to a Sammy the Bull show. See how many fucking years this guy spent in the fucking prisons and the murders and shit that was involved. If you want to go ahead. I saw a black guy, that's the way he explained it to black people, and said he was in prison, he was in a cell, and he did an interview, and I'll never forget it. And he said, hey bro, you want to be me? You want to do what I did? here's what I am. This is my house. See you over here. No, and they get that, kids. They get, you're going to lose your freedom. You're going to go to jail. You're going to be in all kinds of shit. Now is the time to talk before it's too late and he's too heavy into other things and making money or whatever he's trying to do, and he's stuck. So I know he's a good kid. He probably is. I believe you. But now's the time to correct something when it's going south. And you can't just tell him, no, it's no good. Tell him to look at people's examples. Give him the freedom. Is this what you want to be? Well, be ready to do the 22, 23 years of prison like Sammy did. Be ready for this, or be ready to get killed, lose your life, or you're going to kill other people. Get ready for all of that, bro. And go ahead, if that's what you want. But usually when they look at that, they'll say, yeah, my uncle or whoever you are to the kid is right. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Maybe I should be learning a trade, getting married, having children, live a normal life. Well, it's you can survive, in prison. It's just prison is. I don't say you're going to be beat up or raped. That's all bullshit. If you're tough enough to handle yourself, you'll be okay in prison. The only thing is, I will tell you what you won't like. They tell you when to eat, sleep, take a shit, wake up, go eat, stay in. You're locked in. You lose your fucking freedom. And you have some fucking guy telling you what to do every minute of every day. And that's worse than having fights or problems in prison. That's what you lose. You lose that freedom. So that's what I tell kids. I don't try to be an example for them. I'm a piss poor example. The way I am a good example is look what I did and look what happened to me. You want to do that? Then fuck you, go ahead. Do it. But most people, when they see that, knowing that these things are going to happen to you, the same shit that I went through, that's what I tell my stories for. Not, some of these guys, oh, don't do it. It was good for me, but not you. No, it was good for me. It's good for you. Well, this is part of it. This is the other part that people don't talk about. So okay. I would jump on him now, especially if he's a good kid. Because I believe all kids are good up until a certain point, and sometimes you hit that point of no return.
Okay, Ryan Brown, I hope you got all that. Gas can lip. Sammy, my gumbada. Was there ever a mafia presence in San Francisco's North Beach? Thanks.
San Francisco's North Beach. I went to San Francisco a few times. I really liked it. It's a beautiful place. As far as I know, there was never an actual mafia presence in San Francisco. Now, I was in prison with some guys from San Francisco, Italian guys. And I had asked them, I said, what family were you with? Well, there is no family. There was an Italian guy, a Sicilian guy, and he had a couple of sons and a group of people with him. They had strip clubs and stuff like that. They emulated, they were like the mafia, but they weren't the mafia. They didn't answer to the mafia. But people thought they were in the mafia because they had the same kind of structure as us. They had little different positions, but they weren't a mafia family. So other than them, I don't believe there was any mafia presence in San Francisco. I mean, it might have been, but I never heard of it.
Okay, we have Pizza Dave. How powerful was Jimmy Burke? I've often seen that if he wasn't Irish, he'd be a capo, and the very least, a made guy. Any dealing with him?
I had no dealings with him, but I knew of him, and you're right. He was a tough guy. He was a man's man. There's a lot of guys who were around the mafia who are not Italian, on their father's end at least, so they can't be made. There was a guy, an Irish guy, McIntosh. He was with Carmine Persico. He was one of Carmine Persico's top hit guys. Tough as a bastard. I knew him well. I did a story about him and Stymie had an argument, and I went down and talked to him right away because I knew you can't fuck with him. So there was a lot of guys. Joe Watts was in our family. I'm not a fan of him, but he was a tough guy. He could never get made in the family. So there's a lot of guys who were in the family. I knew a couple black guys that I dealt with. They could never be made. They weren't Italian. Now, I would wonder if they were born in Italy and they were black. I think they could be made. I never came across it. I did come across a guy, Joe Jinks. He was a captain, and his mother or somebody, it had to be the mother, was Asian. And when he almost looked like he was Chinese. So when I met him, and one day Tato told me he was a Gabardine, which is a captain, I said, bro, he looks like he's Chinese to me. He says probably his mother is Asian, and he had the little bit of a slanty eyes. He had that look about him. And he was not only made, he was a captain. So, but if it would have been the other way around, if his father was Asian and his mother was Italian, he could never get made. But that doesn't mean he wasn't respected. There would be people in the life. I had a guy named Jimmy, who was a Puerto Rican, who was in my crew. He was with me, could never get made. And he was Puerto Rican, so he wasn't Italian. Johnny Holmes was Irish, his father, and a tough guy, and he was with me, very close. And I want you can't fuck with them, they're with us. And Jimmy Burke was the same thing. I believe you're right. He would have been made at bare minimum. He was a classy, tough guy. So he may have probably been a captain if he was Italian on his father's side. But he was well respected. You know, Michael the Bat was a tough guy with me. His father was a French, I believe French, and he couldn't get made either. But I would never let nobody disrespect him because he wasn't made or because he wasn't Italian. It's not so much that important. It's important to become made as far as the rules of Cosa Nostra. So if you're in the life and you're a tough guy, you're going to be respected for what you are, and we're going to be on your side. Willie Boy Johnson could never be made either. He was Native American Indian. So there's a lot of guys who are in that position, and you know who they are, and you respect them, and you know the reason why. It's not because they didn't have the balls or the brains or to be one. It's just that their heritage wasn't the right fit for Cosa Nostra. That wasn't my decision or other people's decision. That was a Cosa Nostra decision. So you had to respect that rule.
All right, the next question is from Jason. He says, Sammy, is it easy to get guns in New York? I thought guns were legal. Why do people get done for gun charges?
Get indicted for gun charges?
I think he probably means why do they get pinched if they're legal?
Well, because you don't have a permit. They're legal if you have a permit. That's what they mean as far as legal. You have to go do it the right way, get a permit and all that stuff. So then you're okay. But if you have a gun and you don't have a permit, then it's illegal, and that's why you get pinched. And yes, a lot of guns in New York, you got them from all over the country. You got them from different countries. So it didn't matter where they came from. So New York they had tough gun control things. So but there was guns all over the place. I mean, you go, even now, you go to Chicago, there's shootings every weekend. I mean, all of those kids are loaded with guns. Maybe they have, tight gun control, but guns come in wherever they want. They even at one point, I remember they would make guns. They called it, I forgot what they called them, but it wasn't great, but it shot a bullet and it killed you, so it's a gun.
Okay, last question. Shadow 511 wants to know, what's your favorite cologne?
My favorite, I'm trying to bottle my sweat. I mean, I smell good. I use different colognes. It's usually a gift from my daughter or somebody who pays attention to that. There's another one I use pretty often is
Jupe.
Jupe, and I'd spray that. And the slogan that they use is that you're duping the woman. You put this on, and you go near the woman, she's duped, and all of a sudden she's hanging on you. I mean, I tried it a few times. They like the smell, but they weren't hanging on me. I don't know. Didn't work that as good as they said.
Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Anna. Before I do that, do you want to know where your listeners or viewers are tuning in from?
Yeah, I would love to know that.
Germany, UK, Serbia, Texas, Massachusetts, California, Scotland, Ireland, Cyprus, North Carolina, Ukraine, France, New Jersey, New York, Florida. Give a shout out to everybody. And Germany. I said Germany. Yep, there we go.
Wow.
Worldwide,
Listen,
Sammy, you're
that is
global.
Great. All you guys, I'm global. Yeah, all right. So that's good. I mean, that is a good thing. I hear so many things from people from other countries. You know, when I went into the military, I met guys from different states. I was young, so I was really always New York. When I went in, I was starting to meet people from different states, and meeting people from different states, they had different thinking, different everything, and I loved that kind of exposure, seeing that, and now getting people from different countries. When I did my book, The Underboss, we sold well over 1 million. It was a bestseller, 1 million copies, and it sold in 14 countries. And I would talk to Peter Moss, who was the writer with me, and I said, wow, 14 countries buying this thing? Yeah. Wow, I couldn't even believe it. And now I'm doing this, and there's countries all over the country. I even got a text or two from Africa, which blew me away. I mean, I said, they're listening to me in Africa? That's, blew me away, really, because I didn't think there's a lot of Muslim countries now that get in touch with me and stuff. And, it's very interesting. And there's a lot of good people. A lot of them I deal with, who are in these things, Ukraine and some of the Muslim countries that...
You had viewers from Dubai last week.
Yeah, and she's saying I have people from Dubai, places like that. I love that because I love having people that think different, they are different, they may have different religions, different nationality, different beliefs. And I'm a talker, I love people, so talking with them, chatting with them is great for me. So that's great. A lot of international stuff.
Sammy, you got a lot of comments. A couple from Carrie Post, Sean McPhee, saying, thank God you're okay. Thank God that you didn't flip your car and all that stuff. So everybody just got blessed to you that you're okay.
Yeah, listen, I was shot and stabbed and so many different things. Like the cat with 9 lives. I think I got about 13, 14. I used up about 12 of them. So even if I crash, I think I got a couple of more shots at it. So we'll see. But I came close. But like I said, it was an empty highway. I think that's what saved that I didn't crash. Not that I would have died, but I don't know if I would have died or not. But at least I didn't crash. And I wasn't drinking or anything. It was roads, like Anna said, it was drizzling, it was cold. Yeah. When it blew, it we were all over the place. So I was all over the place.
Yeah, when you turned to me and you go, oh my God, what would I have done? And then it made me think of I Dream a Genie. When he's like, Genie! And she's like, yes, Master. I don't call you Master, obviously. I call you Sammy. But I was like,
yeah, thank God I had Anna, and she was, a couple of minutes before me, so she was ahead of me on the highway, and a good thing. And I got on the phone right away with her, and I said, baby, could you make a U-turn? I fucking on the side of the road over here, and I'm finished.
Protect Sammy at all costs.
Yeah, it was good.
I'm going to jump into these super chats. They're really good, Sammy. Liam Patrick, if Stymie survived, what years do you think he would have received his button? I love hearing Stymie's stories. He was such an honorable man.
Stymie would have been made right away. I already had him proposed. I mean, my intention 100% was to make Stymie. We just never got to that point. I forgot what year was Stymie killed.
Ooh.
Do we have that?
It's on the hit list. Can we Google that really quick? I mean, it's on it.
Yeah, but he was definitely on the road to be made. There's no two ways about it, and he deserved every bit of it.
81, she said.
Yeah, 81. Before the Castellano thing, I mean, or definitely right after the Castellano thing, he would have been made.
Nice.
So.
Brad Blair, I am starring in a film titled Skate to Hell, and I owe you for inspiring me. I play the news anchor. Salute. Salute.
What does he play?
He plays the news anchor.
The news anchor? Good luck, good luck. Hey, listen, let me know when it comes out, and your name and everything like that, and I'll give you a shout out, and I'll recommend people to see it. And I'm doing some big stuff, but I'm gonna do some independent pictures like I did the Salvatore on my own. So I'll take a peek at you if you're good, and I do some stuff in the very near future on my own. Maybe I'll give you a holler, and you could act in my movie, because there's different parts. There's one of them I really want to do. The guy Joe Mazzulla, who played in the Salvatore, I think he stole the show. He's a great actor.
Amazing.
He's become a great friend with me, and I would love him to come in and play a part. I talked with him last week, and I told him, and he's also a writer, so he wants to write. I said, I got another writer, and I met him when I was there with Anna and a whole bunch of guys, Jewish guy, big nose. And the guy says, I asked him if he was Jewish. He says, how do you know I'm Jewish? I said, look at your fucking nose, bro. The fucking thing was like a cigar.
Oh my God.
Jewish people have big noses. Yeah, I'm now in trouble with Jews. But they know I love them. So anyway, let me know when it comes out. You know, I just did one of those calls, the $400 calls. It's a half hour. The guy was talking to me, and he was an investor in a movie and was telling me about it. And I said, send it down. I says, I'm doing some independent movies, and maybe if you want to invest in it. So, you know, I'm working all kinds of ends, different things. It's not because I'm greedy or whatever, I want to become famous. I love what I'm doing. I love the excitement of this. It's all in a legitimate way. I got good people around me. Anna, Amina, there's so many good people I have. I'm trying to build my staff. You know, a lot of people think you got about 30 people around you? No, I don't. Our team is small, it's limited. We're doing great work. It looks like I got 30 people, but it's only a couple of us, and we're going to expand. I'm looking for different people. What's that artist? A graphic artist. I'm looking for that. I'm looking for a few things, camera people, different things.
Yeah.
Not right this minute, but in the very near future.
Sure.
I want to have them. I have a lot of connections out here, different companies, independent companies that I'm working with, so I can do all those things. But eventually I want to have some of those people on my team, because my team, we work hard. Like Anna's working, she didn't get home till 2 in the morning. And it's part of the job, you know.
Yeah.
Amina was there too. She got home a little earlier because she wasn't involved in this fucking almost
She didn't save his
potential
life
crash.
like I did. Just kidding.
She was nice. She was cuddled up in her bed, sleeping, while we were stuck on the road, abandoned.
Freezing, dying.
Freezing, dying.
I know, and it's scary because people are flying down the highway. They could, you know, if you get a drunk driver, clips you on the side, is just.
Oh yeah, Arizona's great for this, you know, on the highway, especially I was doing 75, 80, something like that. And then flying down, you know, when you're on the side of the road and somebody's passing you doing 80, you could hear the wind. God forbid this thing hits you. I mean, you don't stand a chance. The guy who picked up the truck was telling me and Anna that a lot of guys who have that job, they're killed.
Oh yeah.
You know, they're on the thing, they get in your car, you're jacking it up, they get hit by a speeding car. You get hit by a car that's doing 75, 80 miles an hour. You're dead. You're forget it. You're gone. There's no chance for you whatsoever, I don't think.
Yeah.
I was telling Nana while we were sitting in the car, you could hear the cars flying by. If something came off the road and hit us in the back, her car, because I was sitting in her car, would have went right through my car. We were both dead. So there's a reality, but there's nowhere else to go for us.
Yeah.
And a dangerous job for those guys.
Yeah. 2 o'clock in the morning too. He was there.
Yep. And
Wow.
he came at 1 o'clock, so
Thank
I mean
God.
the guy's there 1:30 in the morning, and he's out of the truck and he's hooking the car up and cars are fucking flying by. Dangerous job. I give them a lot of credit, these guys.
And he was a happy person. He had a positive energy and just very polite.
And I was having trouble getting my keys, my office keys, off of the car keys. And he says, "Hey, give it to me. I'll help you. I've been doing this." And he took them off in 2 seconds.
He was cool, dude.
So it was good.
Yes. All right. Julio Gonzalez with a weekly envelope for you, Sammy. Hey, boss, always a good time with these sit-downs.
Thank you, Julio. Appreciate it.
Nexus Trading Institution, why didn't you and your crew kill John when he started getting global? I mean, everyone, even the Grand Commission, would approve it, I'm sure.
Because I'm loyal to a fault. He was making mistakes. I loved him. He was my boss. We did things together. I don't turn on my people that easy. I mean, I think if we would have lasted a little bit longer and I would have seen more, I might have started thinking that way. I once went to a meeting with Nicky Scarfo, who told me a few things and told me I have your back. It's not so much that he had my back. I don't care whose back he had. For me to actually physically want to kill him and turn on him, I would need a lot more. You know, I'm going to try and fight for you the best I can. Louis Melito, I grew up with him. I saved him twice. On the third time, it was like baseball. John Gotti didn't want to hear nothing. No, he's gone. You saved him once, twice, no more. And then you got to go. So you take your own when that's the life, when it happens. But that's the life. That's the way it is. It's a tough life. You know that when you come in. You know there's rules. You're going to break these fucking rules. You got a good chance of going. I knew when I cooperated, that's the rules. I would probably go. When I got out of prison and I was in Arizona and I got busted with this ecstasy case, I had 5 loaded guns. It's on my indictment, 5 of them. What am I doing with 5 loaded guns? 1 in the living room, 1 in my bedroom, 1 in the kitchen, 1 in the bathroom. I had them all over the place. And I slept with a .357 Magnum because I knew I broke the rules. I knew they would come for me. And I wasn't going alone. Whoever's coming for me, if I go, they were coming with me. That was my attitude. But I know you break the rules, you go. I told my family a long time ago, if I'm ever killed, I broke the rules. Don't blame the guy who comes, whether he knows me or not. He's under orders. It's not, maybe he's coming in, he hates the reason why. He don't really want in his heart to kill me, but he has to. Don't be mad at them.
Yeah.
It's not their fault, it's mine. I broke the rules. So that's the way I look at the life. That is the life. That's the way everybody should look at it, I think. But everybody's got their own way of thinking. It's a tough life. It's a good life in certain ways. I loved the life. I loved some of the people who were in the life. I knew their families, their wives, their kids. I couldn't help but love them. And because we did bad things, I can't turn around now. Oh yeah, now I'm a good guy, so I hate them and I hate what they did. I'm not going to do. Some people do that. I'm not doing that. So I just can't. Yeah. And I'm in touch with a lot of those people who died, whether I was involved with them or not. I wasn't involved in Peru's death. He died of natural causes, and I'm in touch with his daughter, the guy Johnny Holmes, I said. Christina Holmes is his daughter. I'm in touch with her. I'm in touch with a lot of people's families. So What am I going to say? I hate their dad. They were bad people. I was bad people too. So I just don't want no part of that type of conversation because I don't feel that way, and I would be lying anyway.
Yeah.
So whether people like it or not, I love the life. I love the people in the life. Not everyone. I didn't love Roy DeMeo. I didn't love Gas Pipe. They were doing things outside our life that were disgusting. I'm a people's person. I don't do that. I don't want to hurt. You know, you can get me mad. I want to punch you in the face, but that doesn't mean I want to kill you. You know, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know, when we were putting some clips together for the pitch for your show, you were talking about how your crew and people that knew you on the street were so loyal to you because you said, I was in the streets, I rolled up my sleeves, I got my hands dirty with my people, whereas Gotti just kind of stood on the top of the hill and gave orders and whatever. He never got involved with the nitty-gritty, the everyday.
Yeah. Same thing like when Angelo Ruggiero and them, his brother and Jeannie and them, but they were doing drugs. So John Gotti tried to stay away. I'm Mr. Good Guy, I don't do drugs. And he was taking the money without people knowing. So you're making them do the dirty work even before you became the boss. Now when you become a boss and you're giving orders, they understand that we're the lower end, I'm an associate, or I'm just a maid guy, I'm gonna do the work. Captain, you're supposed to, he gives orders. The administration, boss, underboss, and consigliere, you're never on a hit. That's beyond you no more, anymore. When John would give me orders, go on this hit, take it over and do it. I would occasionally tell him, John, I'm the underboss. I'll give you when I was the underboss. I'm the underboss now, bro. I'm not supposed to be in the street with a gun. It's not that I'm not supposed to be, bro. Sammy, it won't ever get done. Do it. Okay. And I did it. But what she's talking about is that those lower end guys who know that they got to do the work, now they're saying, oh my God, Sammy's the underboss. He's in the street with us with a fucking gun. So they develop a love or a respect for you that this guy ain't just sitting on his ass giving orders. He's on the fucking street with us. So, and then when that happened, John started complaining that, why the fuck are they jumping up and running over and shaking your hand? Because you developed that bond or that respect for me that I was with them in the street. I'm one of them. I wasn't just sitting on my ass giving orders. I was in the street with them. Now, I didn't do it intentionally. I don't think John didn't do it intentionally, but it gave me a lot more clout with the guys coming up. They didn't look at me as a boss who sits on his ass and gives orders. This motherfucker's on the street with us. And people look at you differently like that. I know I would too. When I came up, I had a tremendous respect for Shorty Spiro, who's like my boss, but he'd be right on, when there was work, he was right there. McIntosh, even Carmine Persico, I didn't see him on the street with a gun with me, but he was right in the middle of every fucking thing. He didn't back up. He was a tough guy too.
Wow.
That's the way the life is, and that's how people, unconsciously or subconsciously that thing happens. People just look at you that way. You have a different respect. It's like going to restaurants. I got to a certain level. Let's go to New York. Let's go to all the fancy places. I did on occasion, but I wanted to stay in my neighborhood in the restaurants who I knew, who took good care of me when I was a fucking nobody. And hey, Sammy, come on, we're gonna have dinner tonight. I stayed in those places, and I think people develop a different respect for you when you're doing that. I could be, and I had enough money to be in fancy places and shit like that, dress fancy, act fancy, drive a beautiful car. I didn't do all of that. I try to abide by the rules and regulations and stay low key. You asked me a question before about getting caught on tape. I mean, I got caught on tape just like everybody else. The only thing is, my tapes never hurt nobody.
Yeah.
if you can get in trouble because some girl's got a nice ass and we're talking about it, I mean, then I'm in trouble. Because I did talk about stuff like that, or a football game, or a bet, or some bullshit thing. I talked like a legitimate guy about legitimate things that we talked about. Or even if it was a criminal thing, it was minor shit that I talked about.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's a bookie. Get the bet to him or whatever. It didn't matter. The feds didn't even give two shits about them. I have 9,000 hours of tapes in my office alone.
Wow.
There was 5 bugs everywhere. Every room I walked into in my office was bugged. And they got 0. The agent's reporting to Diane Sawyer and tell him, no, we got 0 on him. He just didn't talk about anything that was important to us, which was a good thing, thank God.
J. Marie, Sammy, can you explain to us about no-show and no-work jobs? What are they and who usually gets them? Also, did you give out any during your time with construction? Thank you, boss.
Yeah, a no-show job is a guy who has a job. I'll use the Teamsters because I ran the Teamsters. He's a Teamster foreman. He's making anywhere between $65,000 and $75,000 a year back then. And he's a good guy, a solid guy. He maybe did time. He's out on the street. He's having a tough time. I give him a job. He's not in my crew, but we have a tremendous relationship. Now, if I want to slow the job down, he's a Teamster foreman. I tell him what to do, he does it. And I know he'll never rat, he'll never say nothing, he's on my side 100%. And even if there's nothing to do, what they'll usually do, will go in, they'll bullshit, the gate is open, the trucks are coming in, he's not breaking balls, he lets the trucks come in and out. 12 o'clock, he may go home, his day is done. And nobody's gonna bother him, nobody's gonna say nothing. He'll use some other guy who's working there, watch the gate while I'm gone. I'll see you tomorrow morning. And that's like a no-show, they call it a no-show job. Mm-hmm. A complete no-show job that's a little more illegitimate. A guy's got a title that he's Teamster foreman, let's say. And he's not one. But he's on the books as one, and he's getting his pay. I didn't usually do that because if the guy keeps getting caught, not only could he get in trouble, but he can fuck up the union. Because they say, well, he's getting a pay and he's never there. So that becomes a problem for the union guys. So I don't want to create that. The union was very important. But that's a total no-show. Maybe in some company, you can get a guy, you get a big company that's making a lot of money, like Louis DeBono had a company. And he had John Gotti's brother, Richie, working there. And when he did work there, and the boss, Louis DeBono, was abusive towards him. John said something to me. I went down. I said, Louis, you're abusive to the guy. You're treating him like a bitch, and you're abusive to the guy. He said, Sammy, that's what he is. I said, I know. But he's John Gotti's brother. So if you don't, like him or he's a bitch or whatever you're thinking, then pay him without him coming in. It's a couple of $100 a week. Put him on the books, give him his paycheck at the end of the week. He don't come in, or comes in for an hour clean up, and and you're doing John in a way a favor. But what you're doing now, he's the boss. You're going to get yourself in trouble. And he agreed, and so that's like a no-show job. I was suggesting to him, if you don't like him, don't even bring him here. Pay him, and you don't have to come in. And you're not really jeopardizing any unions or anything. You're not jeopardizing nothing. And you're a wealthy fuck. It don't mean nothing to you. Shouldn't. Mm-hmm. And you're keeping yourself in the good standings with the boss by doing that. That's a total no-show job. So there's different calibers. And yeah, I was involved in a lot of putting people to work. A guy come out of prison, he's having a tough time getting a job. And if he was really a good guy, handled himself really good in prison, I would see if I could help him get a Teamster job. and I had a lot of power there. I could do it only so much. You can't overdo it. You'll fuck the whole union up. So I did it on occasion. And in some places, like I said, I had a drywall company. We had 200 carpenters, and I would tell some guys, you want to become a carpenter, they put up the drywall, sheetrock and drywall. And I could make it, but you got to work. This is my company. My partner is Joey Madonia. This is not a no-show. You got to work and do the right thing. But you can learn, and they're making good money. And I would give guys jobs in there. As a matter of fact, I had the probation department come down to my office at one point. And they told me, my secretary, there's an appointment with them. I said, what do they want? I'm not on parole. What do they want? They want to talk to you. So I had a meeting in my office, and they said, why do you have so many people who are on parole or probation working for you? I said, it's a construction job. I don't give a fuck what they're on. If they not on drugs and they work, that's what I care about. And let me ask you a question. You come here to ask me that kind of a question. Don't you want these people to rehabilitate? Oh, yeah. But then why are you here bothering me? If they're rehabilitating, they're working, you should come down and be saying, hey, listen, we want to thank you for what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of people, they can't get fucking jobs, and you ain't giving them jobs.
Yeah, what are you doing to
So
help?
you're bothering me because I'm giving them? No, we're not bothering you, Sam. We just wanted to ask you. They work. They're working men.
Yeah.
And if they stay out, if they get in trouble, that's your problem. You put them back in jail. That's not my problem. My problem is if they're going to work and they work and they're doing the right thing, they can get a day's pay working with me. And I don't care if they're on parole or probation.
Amen.
You know, I didn't want to answer them. I'm the same as them.
Yeah.
I'm just not in trouble right now, and I'm not on parole, but I'm the same as them.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you, Sammy. Lord Matty Almond Vlogger. Was a mouthful. Buongiorno, Sammy from the UK. I hope you are well. It is a pleasure to listen to your stories.
I am. Thank you so much for your interest in me. And I got a lot of friends in England. And, I want to give a shout out while you're talking about England and the UK and stuff. There's a girl out there, Demi
Vitali?
Demi Vitali. And she's going to open up a little bit of a platform. She's doing shows. She's going to open up a thing about the Mafia. She talks about the Mafia. She's cute as a button. Her boyfriend, too. One day I saw her and her boyfriend, and I says, if these two get married, the kids are going to be drop dead gorgeous. Demi's gorgeous. Her boyfriend, he's a young guy, good-looking kid, cute as a button, the two of them. Their kids are going to be great. But she lost her job, and she's opening up a platform out there. The next time I get on, I'll put it out. I'm going to push her platform a little bit. I'm going to watch it. She's a great kid, and she has, talking to her, it's not kiddish. She's womanly. She's smart. She's trying to make a living and do something good. So you guys, my friends in England, when she opens up her platform, check her out, watch her show. I'm going to be on her show when she opens it one day, if she has me as a guest. I can't go there physically, but it'll be a Zoom type of thing, and she'll have me on her show. And keep your little paws off of her. She's got a boyfriend, and she's my little honey bunny. She's like my little daughter out there.
Aww.
So leave her alone that way.
Hello, Sammy.
Hello.
Top of the morning. Mets fan. Sammy, did you ever meet Jake LaMotta, the Raging Bull?
Yeah, Jake LaMotta.
Jake LaMotta.
I never met him. I knew of him. It opens up a story. He had a daughter who was really a tough batch. Jake LaMotta was one of the roughest fighters and one of the roughest human beings you want to meet in the street, in the ring, anywhere. And he had a really fucking horrible reputation. And his daughter seemed to have that same thing. I was in an after-hour club one night, and she was talking, and I was there, and I was with a few guys, and I was talking, and she said something to me. And I looked at her, and I said, what'd you say? What do you want? She says, lower your voice. I'm talking, and I can hear you talking. Lower my voice? I said, I don't know who the fuck you are. I said, but I don't have people talking rough to me like that. Who the fuck you think you are? I gotta, and the way she said it, she said, you know who my father is? And somebody whispered to me right away, this is Jake LaMotta's daughter. Then I said, yeah, listen, I know who your pop is. I know who your dad is. And she says, well, you don't want him coming down here.
Oh, my God.
Well, now she's fucking threatening me like. So I said, listen, you don't want him coming down here. Pop may not go home from here. Fuck you and your dad. Get the fuck out. And the other guys came to Sammy, and they came over to her and told her, get out. You're in the wrong fucking place. Do that somewhere else with your dad and his name and reputation and everything. I really bit my tongue after that. I felt bad. Because Jake LaMotta was a fucking animal. I mean, I wouldn't want to come down. I wouldn't want to face him, to be honest with you. He would cripple me with his fucking hands. But I got a gun, bro. So, Jake, this isn't the place to come. So, then. And I regretted I talked a little too rough to her. I wanted to apologize, but I never met her again. But that's who Jake LaMotta was. I don't even know if he's alive anymore, to be honest with you. I mean, Google him.
Yes, I'm sorry, who?
Google Jake LaMotta. See if he's still alive when he was born, if he died. I don't even know.
Did you ever hear any her response after she left? Like
No, I never got a response. She never came back to that club. Maybe somebody told her, this guy's a fucking heavyweight.
Yeah.
He died in 2017.
2017 he died? Yeah. Well, if she's alive, sweetheart, I apologize. That conversation should have never happened. And I apologize. Now.
Yeah. Thank you, Sammy. Matt wants to know who picked the Castellano shooters, and was there a reason why they were chosen over other shooters close to you and John?
I think it was a combination of picking the shooters, John, Frankie the Chico, myself. It was more them than me, because I didn't want my shooters in that hit. I thought it was going to be a suicide mission and a dangerous hit. I didn't want my people there. I wasn't in trouble. It wasn't my thing. It was John's people who was in trouble. So I really wanted more his people. Frankie knew John longer than I did, so Frankie and him picked most of the shooters. At one point, he was going to a diner because he had a court case. And we talked about the old man Peruta putting a shotgun in the bathroom. They sat in a booth right near the bathroom. So Peruta wasn't well known to Paul or Tommy. He could have walked into the bathroom, got the shotgun. On the way out, we were all watching and taking his back. He would have come out and blown the two of them away. And if anybody would have went towards Peruta, our job was to protect the shooter. We would have shot or killed them. But there was a lot of cops who ain't in this place in the morning as well, same time as, and it was not just one or two, sometimes 5, 6. Some of them got uniforms on, some of them don't. But we changed that idea. It was just too many. And so I didn't want my crew in the middle of the street with this thing. I wanted to protect my crew. They don't belong in this hit. I was there. That's enough. I don't need to be putting my people in harm's way for this hit. John, it's your problem. You get the guys. Frankie knew him a long time. He knew some of his guys. So this was put together more by Frankie, the shooters part, by Frankie and the Chico and John Gotti. I was part of it the whole time, every minute of it. I knew the guys and myself. They were all qualified guys. I did a video with them in my office when we talked to them the night before, when I told them. We didn't tell them in the beginning who the victim was going to be. I think they found out a little bit or got a wind of it, you know, when they're meeting and they're saying, oh my God, this is John Gotti, this is Sammy the Bull, this is Frankie the Chico. Whoever this is heavy, this is big. So they kind of, I think, put two and two together, I'm not sure. But in my office that night, we told them officially that it was that it was Paul Castellano and Tommy Bellotti. And I gave that little speech to them about nobody leaves. This is a do or die hit. There's going to be cops. It's right in the middle of Manhattan. If the cops come in, we shoot it out. We live, we live. If somebody dies, they die. Nobody leaves before the whole pack leaves, all of that stuff I explained to them. And I never forget, the one guy turned around and said, Sammy, could I say something? I said, go ahead. And he said, if we don't make it, I'll meet you in fucking hell, brother. Mm-hmm. And I turned to everybody else, I said, see what he just said? That's the fucking attitude. If we live together and we pull this off. If we don't, we'll go down in fucking history. And if we don't, we'll all die together. And we'll all fucking meet in hell. Have that fucking attitude when we're on the street tomorrow. So, and they did. Even one guy, Vinny Atora, his gun jammed. He's one of the shooters with Tommy Bellotti. His gun jammed. He didn't leave, he didn't run, he didn't do anything. He stood there. At one point, John was talking about killing him. And I was the first guy to say, well, why would we fucking kill him, bro? His gun jammed. He pulled the trigger and it didn't work. He didn't run away. He stood there. We're going to kill somebody because the gun didn't work? And that idea of killing him was abandoned 1, 2, 3. I think he's still alive. He might still be alive. Mm. But it was a crew that was just unfucking real. And
wow, Sammy.
We pulled it off. Thank God no innocent people got hurt. Thank God no cops got hurt. It was so good. And after I cooperated, I know that one cop told the feds, a state cop, actually saw the hit, had a gun, the off-duty gun on his ankle, and didn't do nothing. The agents asked him, why the fuck didn't you do this? Why didn't you pull your gun? He said, I've seen this was the most coordinated, well-done hit in the world. I knew they had to have backup shooters and everything. I wasn't pulling my fucking gun out. Mm-hmm. And I asked the feds, where was he standing? And he was 75 feet in front of me and John.
Holy
near
shit.
Castellano. If he would have pulled his gun out, I was a backup shooter. I said, I would have killed him, bro. So the guy actually was right.
Wow.
And they backed up the agents.
It's incredible.
So that's how well planned and well done it was done. Everything happened like I painted the picture and will this actually happen? And it happened exactly what I said and did. I'm the one who planned this whole hit. John was against it at first. We're in the middle of Manhattan. Sammy, it's going to be tens of thousands of people, cops on every corner. I said, I know. That's why. That's going to work in our fucking behalf. People screaming, running in every which fucking direction. Hopefully the fucking cops ain't going to be right on top of us. And we know where he has to park the car, right in front of fucking Sparks. We know what time he's coming. We know what car he's driving. We know who's driving him. It's on a silver platter. We can't get no better. It's dangerous, but we can't get it. Listen, we've been fucking with this for months, and we can't get him in the right spot. This is it. He still complained. Frankie the Chico said, Sammy's been in 2 Mafia wars before this. I think he's right. If you don't want to do it, John, then me and Sammy are out. You take care of it yourself. It's your problem, first of all. And he agreed. And me and him sat in the car together. There was a hooker who they had as a witness. And she said she saw John Gotti in the street giving orders. When I cooperated, I said, that's not true. He sat in the car with me. He wasn't in the street giving orders. He might have seen Joe Watts, who looked like John, with the hair and the whole, maybe. I'm not saying she was a liar. She's wrong. They took her off their witness list.
Mm-hmm.
So, because he was not in the street giving orders.
What was the exit strategy? So the shooting happened. What was everybody's? How'd they get out of there?
They just moved as one. Frankie the Chico too. There was a meeting. He made them sit down. He came out. They all moved. Even the guys who were in the meeting who had nothing to do with it, they wanted to get the fuck out of there too. So they all moved too. When they weren't under pressure of us, we were leaving. They all left. They went, to the parking lot, had their car. But the shooters and everybody, we moved like a wave. In the wave of people, we were in that wave moving.
Oh my gosh.
Me and John were in a car. We pulled up real slow. I opened up the window about this much. I looked down. Tommy Bellotti was laying in the street. He was gone. I couldn't get a good look at Paul. He's opened the passenger door, which was on the sidewalk. I couldn't see that. I couldn't see over the car. And when he got hit, he slid out of the car, so his body was on the floor in there. And I says, I can't see him, but I watched when the guys were shooting. They were whacking him in the head, one after the other. I mean, he got hit heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Can't survive this. He's got to be gone. And I said, let's go. And he just started pulling down the street. We hit I forgot the avenue, but the Mix Avenue. We made a turn. And I put the radio on. Minutes after the hit. And on the radio, in downtown New York, uptown New York, there was a major hit. I says, oh my God, this is on the fucking radio already, John. And I remember we went further to go back to Brooklyn. And he said, put 10-10 wins. I think the one I had on is 88 something. So I put 10-10 wins. And they said, the boss of bosses, Paul Castellano, has just been rubbed out in the middle of Manhattan. I said, oh my God, they even know who the fuck it was.
Wow.
How did they notice? This is not even 5 minutes after the hit. The first one was 2-3 minutes. The next one was another couple of minutes where he told me to change the channel, which I did. And
That's
boom.
crazy.
Then we got back to Brooklyn, and John went to his people, and me and Frankie the Chico went to go. Joe Watts had an apartment. We were living in Joe Watts' house for months, working on this stuff. But we weren't going back there. We went to an apartment. He had like some Playboy bullshit apartment, and he was taking us there that night. And then there's that whole story with, we went to that apartment, and we stayed in that apartment. And now I'm doing my scripted show. You're going to see that so exact. And you know what I like about the people I'm working with? Not only are they heavyweights in Hollywood, every fucking thing I say, they're going to state organized crime cops, FBI, informant information, other people other than me. Everything is being checked and double checked and triple checked. I love it.
Sammy, what were you feeling when you and John look at Bellotti and know Castellano's done?
Talk a little louder.
What were you feeling and thinking when you and John pull away after looking at what you had just done, what had just happened, and you're driving down back to Brooklyn? What were you thinking and feeling? Were you talking to each other in the car?
Very little, to be honest with you. We knew we pulled off one of the biggest fucking hits in history, especially where it took place, in front of tens of thousands of police people and police on every fucking corner. We knew what we did. We knew it. And we probably were both, we knew that we were going to be in a war. Mm-hmm. This wouldn't be easy. The Castellano had a lot of people behind them. The Gambinos had a lot of fucking people behind them. He had the Westies who were close with him, the Irish mob. He had connections in Italy. I mean, the commission, this is an off-the-record hit, is going to go berserk. We knew that we were about, this was a thing that was going to start a huge fucking war. People were going to be killed on both sides. And they're going to try and kill the people who planned it, who did it. They're going to want every one of their asses dead. And we're them. So that's running through my mind. I'm sure it's running through John's mind. I'm sure it's going through Frankie's mind. We just still didn't go home. That was December 16th. So we now bunked in again, and we're now starting to make rounds with people, meeting with the captains, meeting with other people, sending messages. We're denying the hit that we're involved. We're not saying we did the hit. One of the first meetings was in Caesar's East, a restaurant that I owned with some of my people who were partners in it, a guy named Caesar, Big Louis Valerio, and I had a meeting in there with the captains. They were brought there by maid guys. The maid guys weren't allowed down in the basement. They had to stay upstairs. The captains went down in the basement. I set up tables. Frankie DeChico, John Gotti, and Joe Gallo, who was the Gonzieff family. He was a betrayer of Paul. He sat there, and he made the first speech. The captain sat in the circle around that table. Me and Angelo were both armed behind them. Angelo was on one side of them. I was on the other side. And he said, we don't know who killed Castellano. We're going to look into it. Keep your eyes and ears open and get back to us. I'm going to use John Gotti to help me. He's the only administrator. The boss is dead, Neil. The boss is dead, Paul. Neil had died. So he's the only administrator of the concierge. He's the only one of the administration. He's the only one left. So he's automatically taken over the family. So he says, I'm going to use Frankie DeChico and John Gotti to help me run the family. They were both captains. I was just a maid guy. Angelo was just a maid guy. But we had the guns and we were right behind him. And he gave this whole speech, what we would do. And that was the beginning of a war. We knew that was going to happen. A time later, Joe Piney, who was with us, one of the five, the fifth, had a connection in the school, public school. We got it when it was closed at night. A meeting in the basement of that school, all of the captains. And it was the election of a new boss. By this time, the news media was talking about John Gotti and this and the other thing. And Frankie DeChico was the first guy to vote. And he says, I elect John Gotti to become the new representative of our family. And it went around from captain to captain to captain. Me and Angelo were in there standing behind again. You had to be a fucking moron to know if you didn't vote that way, you were going to die. So every fucking one voted without any kind of actual pressure, but they knew, bro, these people are not stupid. They all voted him in. He accepted it, became the boss that night. We sent a message to the commission that we don't know who killed Castellano. We're still looking into it. But we immediately voted John Gotti in as the representative, and we wanted him to have the commission seat. that Paul had. Now, they could deny it for a while or deny it indefinitely, but they didn't. They approved it. So he was now accepted on the commission. We want it all. But obviously, you still got to take your back and watch what's going on. And a lot of things did go on. Chin was definitely haunted. He had Guest Pipe and Vic Amuso, the boss of the Lucchese people, hunting. There's tapes now showing that Joe Messina wasn't happy with John. Other bosses out of town, Nicky Scarfo and other bosses in other places weren't happy. I have a relationship with Anthony now. His father was Fat Andy and Tony Lee. They were like this. They didn't like what John was acting. They actually made recommendations. Why don't they take him the fuck down? So people weren't happy. People think everybody loved him. Not really. Not real heavyweight Cosa Nostra guys. And Frankie paid with his life, and so did a bunch of others. DB. Others.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
And the rest is, a lot of people know, is history, and it's going to be in my movie. More exact than you've ever heard it. I mean, because you hear a lot of versions. This is going to be really something when it comes out in the scripted show. It's going to be something to see. There's a lot of things you don't know that I knew. There's some things that I didn't know because other people cooperated. Gas Pipe eventually cooperated. And I found out that different things. Agents found out things. Guys cooperated, spoke their guts, everything they knew. State organized crime. Witnesses, other families, other people. So when there's a lot that you guys don't know 100%. So I think when it comes out in my scripted show, I'm working on it with them and telling them, get this fucking right once and for all. There's a million stories out there. Get it right. I'm not telling you what to do. You got to add a little Hollywood in it, juice it up. It's a show. But get it right.
Absolutely.
So I can't wait until this is done. It'll be down the road a piece, but a piece that sounds like a hillbilly. It'll be right down the road a piece.
It's going to be right down, coming along down the turnpike.
Yeah,
You know.
it'll be around. Wow.
Sammy, incredible. I don't even want to. I didn't keep going with the super chats because that was just fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I think it will be incredible. Every guy there really had balls like an elephant. Everybody. I got to say it, the truth. They really, I mean, you know, try to imagine be sitting in a fucking room and basement in my office and being told you're going to be in the middle of Manhattan in front of tens of thousands of people, police on every fucking corner. December 16th, right before the holidays, Christmas, bells going off and lights, and you're going to go into this and you're going to start shooting in the middle of the fucking street. And you may get into a gun battle, and if any one of yous, they're staying together like a pack. We're going to survive this as a pack, or we're going to all die. Now, if a guy is hit in the gun battle and we're winning the gun battle and we're moving away, maybe we can't do nothing for that guy. He's dead. Only God could do something for him now. So try to imagine how intense it is. Even for me, it was intense. I mean, you know, I'm saying to myself, I may never see my wife, my kids again. It's that emotional, it's that intense. And it's hard to explain with your mouth. You hear the story, one, two, three. But to feel it and be in that room, the energy, the pressure, the whole fucking thing. If you're not 100%, man, you would have buckled in the fucking minute. Any one of them. Anyone.
Yeah.
That's how fucking heavy this thing is.
And you know your listeners that, you know, watch you and love you because you're so just riveting and the storytelling, man. To sit in the room with Sammy, being here live and in person, you guys, Sammy has this energy that just radiates off of him when he's in these stories. Just even when he's talking to you about what he had for breakfast, there's a magnetism and energy that just, like, again, radiates off of him. It's really something to be in the room with him.
Well, you know, guys are calling people in Hollywood everywhere. You know, I'm talking to people doing a show, and they're talking to me, and they're telling me, Sammy, you're the best storyteller ever.
Mm-hmm.
I said, well, take it easy, bro. I'm not the best storyteller. And it's, you know, I'm starting to understand what they mean now. And like what Anna's just saying, I relive it. It's not, I'm not reading a book. I'm not telling a story, Santa Claus and all this other stuff. And, you know, to me, that's a good storyteller, guys who can do that. I can't do that. But when you relive it, I feel it again.
Yeah.
When I'm talking to you right now, my whole fucking body is fucking tensed up. My whole body is tingling with, my adrenaline is flying through the fucking roof, even at my age, because I'm literally in the fucking street as I talk to you, and that's maybe what makes me a good storyteller. I feel it again. It's running through my veins. My heart must be pumping 100 miles an hour. I'm breathing heavier now. I'm puffing a little bit more. You know, I feel it. And I guess that what I feel, you're feeling, and maybe that's what they're talking about, that I'm the best storyteller ever. But believe me, I can't pick up a fucking Christmas book and read it to the kids, and I'll be, who the fuck is this guy?
And to all a good night.
You know, so, and I can't read somebody else's story all that good, but my own, I feel it again. The Johnny Keys hit, I told a few guys and a few people a few times, I'm looking at Anna's beautiful face, and I'm talking to her, and I'm telling her to hit, and all of a sudden, I don't see Anna. She disappeared. I almost want to say, where's Anna? Because what I see is not Anna's face. I see Johnny Keys' face.
Yeah.
With a fucking glow around it. I don't see Anna. Anna's not here no more. I'm talking to Johnny Keys. I'm looking at him. And I don't know how to explain that. I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist or anything like that. Mm-hmm. I don't know what that is. I know what I feel and what I see, and maybe that's what makes me a good storyteller or a great storyteller. And in the Pictures Salvatore, I even tried acting. People told me, don't quit your other job, storytelling. So
Haters.
I don't think I'm a great actor. But I'm going to do that too again anyway. I'm going to try it anyway.
Amazing. Daniel in the regular chat wants to know what you get on your pizza.
On my pizza, I have either a pork on my pizza, pepperoni, or I have a meat, you know, like a meatball, but ground up, like, you know, that kind, or just cheese. You know, most of the times, you know, I don't get none of this crazy shit, pineapples, watermelon, and all these other things that they're putting on pizza.
Sunflower
I don't have
seeds.
that. It's either just cheese or, you know, some pork ground up a little bit.
Goombalinas.
Or, yeah, so little goombalinas on top of it.
Sammy, we got a ton of super chats, and it's 2:30. I feel really bad for your listeners, but I know we always circle back next Monday. Let me just Elgato. What gun was it? Are you talking about the one that jammed during the hit? Do you know what gun? And what are the odds that at that moment the gun jams?
The odds sound incredible. Now, I'm going to waste a little more time because it's happened to me. When me and my friend Joe Vitale were going on a score, we had masks, we had guns, we had everything. I had a 9mm, so it's, you know, that's with the clip, and it's 14 shots or whatever it is. And we were stopped at a light, me and my friend Joe Vitale, and we were talking and waiting for the light to turn green, and a car pulled right up to us. There was a driver and a guy hanging out the fucking window with a rifle.
Jeez.
and he's screaming, pull the fucker over, I'll fucking kill you. I leaned to the side of the fucking thing, Joe, and I put my hand up, thinking, not that I'm going to stop a bullet, but whoa, take it easy, relax, take it easy. He didn't shoot. I had the fucking 45 automatic, whatever it is, 9mm, laying right on my fucking lap. And I picked it up. He turned to the fucking driver, saying to him, pull in front of him. I reached with the gun, pulled the fucking trigger 2 or 3 times. Click, 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 nothing. Beads of fucking sweat are coming down. This is in slow motion now. I see him starting to turn. Joe Vitale said, Sammy, hit the fucking gas. I hit the fucking gas, and he starts shooting.
Oh, my God.
I got hit. This is where I got hit in the back of the head. Didn't kill me. It didn't go, obviously, it didn't go through my head. It hit when it cut the skin, but when it hit the bone, it went ricocheting because it was coming in as an angle to begin with. Joe Vitale was hit in the back. It blew his whole stomach out.
Jeez.
He lost his spleen, everything. So I know what the fuck it is to have a gun jam. Now, I shot that gun 100 times. I don't know why the fuck it jammed, but it jammed. From that point in my life, I never used an automatic again. If I was going on a piece of work, I had a revolver. They never jammed. And I would have the automatic in my leg or some stuck near me.
Yeah.
But I had the revolver. That's what I was going to use. They don't jam. They never jam that I ever heard of. But it happens. It happened to me, and I almost lost my life and Joe Vitale's life. But it happened to this guy. So, and I know there's just, you're pulling the trigger, nothing's going to happen.
Damn.
It's the way it is. And I've heard, automatics can jam. And the people who know about guns know about that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's about the guy who, it jammed. I don't know what he had exactly, which one he had, but he had an automatic. Nice. And it jammed.
Wow.
And there's nothing he could do. What is he going to do? I mean,
Yeah.
but he didn't run. He stayed as part of the hit. So I think I give him more credit. Not that I want to kill. Why would I want to kill him? But I give him more credit because he can't even do nothing. He can't even fight back no more. But he's there. Now, if the cops would have had, maybe he would have started throwing the gun. But he stood there. He didn't run. And he had nothing. I would have been more comfortable if there's a shootout that I got a gun, I'm shooting back. He can't even shoot back. So whatever he's going to do, he's going to try and help. Or he would run.
Damn.
So I give the guy a lot of credit.
Yeah.
And I don't know exactly what gun. So that's my little jamming of guns.
Thank you, Sammy. We'll do a couple more real quick shout outs. So ZZ, thank you to you, Sammy, and his entire crew for my brother's birthday shout out, Zach.
My pleasure, bro.
Let's see. Ryan Brown. Is it true Angelo Ruggiero paid a guy to sweep for bugs in his house, but they scammed him?
Well, the guy didn't scam him. Yeah, that's true. The guy didn't. Here's what they did, real quick, is that the FBI had his house bugged, phones bugged, everything bugged. They knew he was doing drugs. They saw this guy. He was a cop years ago, and now he has this private security thing where he can go around looking for bugs. He had that equipment. Angelo hired him. So when they saw this guy come and they knew what the fuck he was doing, boop, they shut off all the bugs. So when he went in and he did his little magic wand all over the fucking place, no bugs. Because you need the frequencies going across. So there was no frequency, no bug. And what did they do? They left a phone bugged so the guy could find the phone was bugged. So the guy went to Angelo Ruggiero. He said, the house is clean, the phones are bugged, your daughter's phone is clean. That wasn't true either. phone, the agents shut off what they wanted. So it's not a scam. They set him up. He told the truth. The guy got paid and left. As soon as he left, boop, boop, they put it all back. They caught them all. Angelo's
Damn.
daughter's thing, he thought she was really safe, and that tape caught a lot of disgusting shit between his daughter and her boyfriend and bullshit like that. And giving credit to the government, they killed all of that. They didn't need it, so they just got rid of it. There was some drug conversations, but it would have been humiliating to the kid, and they just got rid of all of that, which was cool.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a scam. It's the government really outdid themselves, with their technology and working, and they outsmarted Angelo. They outsmarted the guy who does that work, and
Wow.
that's it.
Crazy. Pizza Dave. Sammy, have you ever had your car worked on at C. Joe's Collision on Stillwell Avenue? He's still in business and in his 70s.
I don't know. I must have, because I had my own. I'm rough with cars. I'm gonna tell you, if
No
I'm selling my
shit.
car, whoever you are, I'm gonna give you a good price. Don't buy it. I'm brutal with fucking cars. I'm really brutal with cars. I bought a Mercedes when I was in New York, and I didn't buy it. One of the guys gave it to me. We had all the payments and everything, but they gave me the car. So I went in with my wife the first day we went in. It was a nice brand new Mercedes. I think I had a Chevy or whatever the fuck I had. So now I'm in a Mercedes. I went in the car and I was smoking, and I put the one like that with the ash on the floor. My wife said, "What are you doing?" I said, "What do you mean? We're going to take a ride." "No, your ash." "What?" I flicked my ash. She says, "It's a Mercedes." The fuck out of here. It's the same as a fucking Chevy. Where do you want me to put the ash? That's where I did it to the Chevy. So,
Oh my gosh.
She was like, "Oh, this is a Mercedes now. You can't do that." Why? You could do it. So
Mind
it
your
was funny.
manners. Okay, last super chat for today. And guys, Sammy will answer all the ones he didn't get to today next Monday. Lore84. Hey, Sammy, did you ever meet Sal Pelosi and Dominic Catalano? They were the biggest drug dealers in New York City in the 70s.
Yeah, listen, I knew who Sal Pelosi was. I heard him on things. I didn't know him. I never knew him. I know he cooperated against John Gotti. I know he was a drug dealer, but I never knew him personally. I heard a video that he was doing one day. He did with somebody. I don't even know who the hell he was doing a video with. I heard the video just recently, not that long ago. But I never knew him personally. No.
Okay.
All right, guys. Listen, I can keep you here for days, and I really would love to, because I love you guys. But it's time for me to give you the old adios, motherfuckers.